Are searching for a possible motive for the marathon bombings and overnight attacks. We're learning more about the brothers who are suspected in these crimes.
Authorities say they were born in Chechnya and immigrated to the U.S. in 2002. Tonight, the suspects have put the Chechnyan Republic in the spotlight. News 8's Jamie Muro is live in our Hartford newsroom with some background information on Chechnya and its violent history. Jamie?
Well, Keith, in a very quick history lesson here, many may remember the two Chechnyan wars that started in the 1990s, and in many cases, Chechnyan forces used terrorist attacks against Russian forces. However, what has to be key here is that there was never any violence pointed towards America. But did the influence of radicals have an influence possibly on these two Boston suspects? We went to Coventry, Connecticut to learn about Chechnya.
I don't think from the majority of Chechens that you hear anti-American sentiment. I think that it's evolved as the conflict has evolved. And
it's where we found Dr. Emma Gilligan, respected University of Connecticut professor, expert in 20th century Soviet history, author of a book about the Chechnyan wars and crimes against civilians. She says the country has responded to the two men blamed for the Boston attacks.
Ramzan Kadyrov, the Chechen form of tweeting, just came out and said that these boys didn't live in Chechnya, they've got nothing to do with Chechnya. They grew up in their adolescent and early adulthood in America, so America's to blame, essentially, for the way that they turned out.
Religious ideologies are being called into question with these two suspects, and while motive remains unclear, Dr. Gilligan says the country has witnessed a rise in Islamic extremism since the first and second Chechnyan conflicts.
So they did adopt to a degree this kind of anti-Americanism and the anti-Americanism ideology of radical Islamists everywhere.
A part of this story is the brothers' backstory, a history lesson, and how it may have impacted a deadly decision.
It was a very volatile area, and they would have been exposed to politics, exposed to the polarized politics of the region. But the Chechen people have always wanted peace.
Now, you probably saw this today, that the suspect's uncle has said that his nephews were not radical Muslims, they were not militant Chechens. The uncle went on to say to the press that the brothers, quote, put a shame on the entire Chechnyan ethnicity. Reporting from the Hartford newsroom tonight, I'm Jamie Muro.